So she met God, but there was this woman that seemed to have the control. Is that the idea? Well, there was a woman with God. You explained the experience. You were reading it. Yeah, there was a woman there that was with God, and she seemed to have the control. Well, just like in the books, that's the influence.
Mm-hmm.
And they are gluing her mouth shut so she's not to say anything. That's the whole idea, you see? And so you can see what it is. And then there's the foot area, which is the physical, okay? And so they're giving her a prediction, it seems like, of destruction, a date of destruction right there, aren't they? Yeah. But again, that doesn't mean a whole lot, because all life is awareness. But God and the influence are trying to get her to agree to what they've decided. And just like the influence said, you have all your answers, okay, already. So in other words, the influence is already deciding what's to be done, and you don't have to think about it because we're already deciding for you. So you already have the answer, you see? Now, this experience is rather radical and a little bit scary. I get it. You know, she can learn to see a lot more, but it's up to her. That's the religious God. That's the Cal with the influence. And so this should give her a real objective comparison with what we're presenting and what is going on in creation. So you have to let her know there's no neutral zone. You either do this or you stay with creation. That's it. So again, you know, most people will agree to that. They'll think, oh, this is God and this is what I'm told and I already have my answers. You see, it sounds really good, doesn't it? It's like going to the doctor. Many people go to the doctor. Today, in this world today, why are you going to the doctor? That's the question. Unless you got broken bones or something like that, sure. Okay. But why are you really going there? Because what are they really going to do except give you drugs that harm you? Does that make sense? And so we have this situation here. She has this experience. And because of the religious background of so many people in the world, because the reptilians created religion, they created the gods, they appointed themselves as the god, and from all this became the influence. I was shown this immediately when I took the rod of power. I met her head on, and I recognized her right away. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, here's the third head of the two-headed God that Paul had talked about. And then in my book, because most people look at the good side, the bad side, the devil, the God, all whatever, okay? But there is the influence that is behind it all because of the created consciousness. And then in book 4, The Adventures of Rudasar, I talk about the supreme deceptor, which is in the unconscious area. And many people think here, psychologists and whatever, dream experts, whatever, think that, oh, that's your real self talking to you. But really, it's mechanical position in the intuitive area, and intuitive area is important, but it is not the ultimate. And many people that are into clairvoyance and psychic things think that, oh, I'm an empath. But they're only getting certain views and certain information. They're not getting all of it. Because you have to gain insight from your intuition to learn to recognize the real you. And see, that's all invisible, and for us to see ourselves, that's huge. But anyhow, yeah, this gets into, you know, a gigantic Netflix movie, which is really cool. So her experience is really cool. It's kind of like Rosemary's Baby, an old, I think it was in the 60s movie. That's a very interesting one. And so this is all happening, but again, the foot there is the clue also, because it's physical. See, they want her physical to obey, to follow orders. That's the whole idea. And so, but that's her decision. And so with this experience, I would suggest that she really do a real scan of her consciousness and see the attachments to anything religious and even family members, etc. Remember, everything here is made up. The mothers, the fathers, the daughters, the sisters, the kids. We are all individual awareness. And these labels that we've created fool us. You know, number one, basically, that brings people back here is their made up, make-believe relationships. Because they don't see through that. They see the body and the label on the body, just like a car, Ford, Chevy, you know, Buick, Toyota. They don't see, for the most part, it's just bent metal, bent a different way. They all do the same thing, but it's just bent metal a different way. They're really all the same. But people will buy, oh, I want a Mercedes because I want to look cool, you know. I don't want to buy that old piece of junk Chevy 10 years old. I want a Mercedes. I want to look cool when I'm driving. So again, all these little attitudes. And so again, I suggest a real scan of her consciousness, which is in creation, with her awareness, and to sort out anything that she doesn't want that ties herself with this. So again, it's like being in the interrogation room of the FBI. You know, when you watch movies, they don't ask you questions about, well, did you do this or whatever. No, they're telling you, whether you're guilty or not, they're telling you you did it. And they want you to confess. And where does it say in the laws that they're to do that, but yet they do it? You see, and this is how the Kalaum God works too. He's going to speak for you, so you don't have to speak. We'll just glue your mouth together, your lips together. And the answer is right there in front of you. I'm God. You don't have to think about it. Just go back to your earthly life and do what you do, and I'll take care of the rest. That's my plan. So again, it doesn't matter about the dates or the numbers or whatever. Again, that's just a distraction. It's the experience that she went through.